Well, a lot of mistakes, and that's typical of a game one. But there's certainly lots of things we can point to that fundamentally we have to get better wise, execution wise, and just composure wise. So, those are all things that you learn in week one, and, it's about getting it fixed this week in practice to get ready for another huge game.
What are some of the positives you take out of week one?
Our willingness to play hard and fight, and the intensity at which we played, which, you can't really teach that. A team has that, and that's a good sign. Essentially that whole second half, every drive, every play had game, ending impact on it. And so we operated in that environment and came out successful is a good sign.
Carroll last year was a 29-28 point game, so a tight contest. You guys are coming off another tight contest. So when you take a look at what you guys were able to see with Carroll last year, is there anything that you can carry over from a matchup with the Chargers that you can apply this time around?
Well, I think anytime you play a well-prepared, very well-coached team, you got to be on point in all aspects of the game, or they're going to take advantage of it, and that's certainly true. That's what's good about playing good teams early. You have to make sure you're ready on those things, and that carries through your progress through the rest of the season. But they certainly are one of those teams. Everything has to be on point, or they'll take advantage of it, and that's been our kind of focus this week.
What are your biggest concerns for Friday, knowing that obviously Carroll's going to give you their best shot?
Well, they're defensively, they're very quick, fast, bring back a lot of experience from last year, and at the linebacking core is really their strength. Those guys fly around, and they're disruptive to the offense. They have a great kicking game. Kicker, punter is really, really good. And coverage teams are really good. And then offensively, they just have a great scheme. Certainly have talented players, but, have a great plan every time we play them. And they stress you in the areas that, you have to be aware of. And they just do a great job coaching it, and the players do a great job executing it. So all those things, kind of head towards a difficult matchup.
The final question for me, you mentioned this last week, was that when you have a big game right off the gate, you don't have to hype these guys up through the rigors of training camp. Like, they're ready to go because they know week one matters. Winning last week's game only makes this game seem more important. How do these guys handle the magnitude, the excitement of the game, knowing that if they want to bring the victory bell, this is a game that very much they need to be victorious in?
Well, those are end results, and our kind of objective is don't focus on the end results, focus on what's in front of you right now. These kids, there's too many other things going on in their head. The end result is great, but it's a byproduct of what you do right now with the opportunity that's in front of them here in the next 2 hours, what's in front of them tonight when they go home and prepare, or tomorrow morning, what's in front of them the rest of this week in terms of the preparation. The preparation is the key, and if we take advantage of the opportunity to prepare, then the product of success will happen on Friday night. So it's all about, taking care of what's in front of us today and this next 2 hours, this practice, to get us ready to play well Friday night.
Love it. Anything else you'd like to add, Coach?
This is a special night for a lot of kids, certainly their kids in their program, because of, playing in the memory of a fallen teammate. And many of our guys in our program, whether went to school with them, played with them, and the different things that kids do in the off-season, 7-on-7s, or where they train. And so it's a special game, and I think both sides, certainly them, but many guys on our team that know him are going to be playing with him in their hearts. And I think that's special, and we're going to play in his memory.
I would say just being more of a team. That was our first challenge of the year, and that's always something different. The first game is always a little more rough than every other game. I feel like this week we just need to focus on playing together and doing our assignments, and we'll be all right.
Tell me about this defense. What is it about this defense that makes these guys go, and what are your biggest concerns defensively getting ready to face a good Carroll squad?
I feel like the thing that makes our defense go is that we all want to be out there and we all want to fly around. I don't really have any concerns for our defense. A lot of people say we're undersized, but I think it just means that we got to be faster off the line. We got to be quicker moving around and performing our stunts.
Obviously, last week was a big game when you take a look at the big picture of ringing the SAC's victory bell at season's end. Both you guys winning last week only makes this game bigger. So how do you take it up another notch in terms of intensity, knowing that, again, you've got another big game right out of the chute here in the SAC?
preparing like it's a championship. Every game that we prepare for should be the same intensity, the same excitement that we have coming into this week. It means something to us that they also have that bell and they'll be ringing it on that sideline, and it just means more to us that we want to get that back and have it the whole year.
Last year this was a Week 2 game at Spiller Stadium. It was a 1-point game. So when you take a look at that, what can you use from that experience that maybe you can apply or use motivationally this time around?
That just means we were that close to being successful. That means we got to work that little bit much harder this year to be better than we were last year in that scenario and those situations that we were put in, and overcoming that adversity.
Final question, Nick. What are you most looking forward to about this Friday night's game, man? It's Highlight Zone game of the week. It's a game that a lot of people had their eyes on, a game a lot of people were talking about before the season.
Oh, I'm excited to play under those lights and be around the atmosphere. Kale has a great stadium, and just being able to perform in front of all those people.
Love it. What do you carry over? What did you learn from Week 1 that you can use here in Week 2 to get yourself ready for another big contest?
Honestly, we just have to execute. We had a couple drop passes. In big situations, we can't have that. And against this team, we definitely cannot, because they have a really good defense. And if we mess up one time, then, it's just over after that. Yeah. And then we're going to run the ball. So.
Offensively, what are some of the things besides, the drops? What are some of the things that you were working on, and what are your concerns against Carroll, which has a really good defense, as you know?
Their linebackers they're really fast and really strong. They can be anywhere on the field, no matter what we run, any formation. They come down really hard.
When you take a look at this game, obviously last week was a big game as far as the SAC. I know it's hard to concentrate with that, but when you take a look at the way that the SAC is shaping up, both you guys winning last week only makes this game bigger in the grand scheme of things. So how do you handle the spotlight, handle all the excitement that is surrounding this game, and make sure, man, you just play your game?
Really just play as a team. We know that if we go out there and play for one another and do our jobs, then we'll be okay.
What are you most looking forward to about this Friday?
Like Nick was saying, playing under the lights. Carroll has a really nice stadium, and being around all my teammates and the fans is going to be amazing, especially for playing that game for Owen.
Yeah, what do you know about Owen? Did you have any interaction with him, or what is it like? Because obviously, he was in your shoes, being a senior, playing a senior season of high school football here in Fort Wayne.
We played each other in 7-on-7, and obviously the game last year. But other than that, we talked a couple times. But just going and playing for somebody that doesn't have a chance to it's a nice thing to think about.
Yeah, does that hit home with you guys, knowing that, everybody wants to play their senior season? You kind of gear up your whole high school football career to have a senior season, and to have it taken away. That has to be something that kind of weighs on your mind a little bit, and perhaps will on Friday when they honor him before the game.
Yeah, it really just makes you think. Even with the COVID going, or the way it was, you have to play every game like it's your last, and practice every practice like it's your last. So you just have to go out there and play the best that you can, and have no regrets.
Final question, what do you think Friday is going to be like, man, and what are you most looking forward to about that?
I really can't wait. It's going to be so much fun being on the turf with the guys. That's all I can really think about.
I love it. Anything else you'd like to add?
Nope, I'm good. Thank you.